Hi there, welcome once again to Shorty on the Fly. Last time we did a silver pheasant tail nymph, so we're going to stay with that pheasant tail theme, and today we're going to do a dry fly, and this will be a deer hair pheasant tail emerger. So let's go ahead and get started. For a hook today, I'm going to be using a size 12 clink hammer hook. I just love these hooks and the way they look in the water with the fly on them. It just looks like something having a lot of trouble. And for my thread, I'm going to be using Olive 6.0 Danville, and we'll get that started on the hook. And I'm going to run it back to about where the bend begins. And at that point, I'm going to tie in my rib, which in this case is fine gold wire. I know the traditional pattern calls for copper wire, but I like the gold. You can use copper if you want. I'm going to capture that and let thread torque take the wire to the back of the hook so that it doesn't interfere when I tie in my tail. And I'm going to run the thread down to the barb. Okay. Certainly we can pinch the barb off if we'd like. I didn't just for this demonstration, but you can if you like. Now I'm taking 8 pheasant tail fibers off of the stem, and I count them because I want everything to look the same. I'm going to try to get this tied in the right spot so that I don't have to move it. If I do, I will. I'm going to take one collecting wrap and then a second wrap to carry the material to the top of the hook. Yeah, we got that pretty good. I'm just going to leave that alone. Go ahead and take one more wrap to make sure everything is in there, and then I'm going to run the thread back up to that flat part of the hook and start to make my wraps. And I'm not leaving the thread right in front of it on this one. It's a little tough with the angle that this hook is on. I'm just going to make sure that I put my fingers behind and keep everything together. I'm touching that up against the hook as I go, and that seems to keep all my fibers in order. All right, once we get to that point, we come in and capture it and trim away the butt ends. And now I'm going to take 6 turns of my gold wire, and I count them on every fly because I want consistency. So on all of my patterns of this size, we'll have 6 turns. If it's a 14, it'll probably have 5. On a 16, it would probably have 4. Once we get up there, we're going to capture that and then just helicopter the excess off. I've already stacked the hair that I'm using, so you don't have to listen to me whack the stacker on the table. I'm using medium coastal deer hair. It's Canberra done hair, and it's got great coloration, especially once we get it stacked. It looks really, really good. So we'll take the hair out of the stacker. Off camera here, it's not coming out of the stacker. We'll get there. There we go. Okay, we got her out. And now I'm going to come up and measure to the back edge of the hook. That's where I want my wing. And then I'm going to come in and take 2 collecting wraps and then pull straight up and do the same thing again. And now to further attach those fibers, I'm going to come in and take a couple back at a time, and that should lash those to the hook nicely. Okay. Take those last couple up and out of the way. Then we're going to attempt to come in and snip the butts away, all with one cut. Doesn't always happen. Yeah, we got her pretty good that time. Just a couple little guys here that didn't want to cooperate. Not pretty happy with that. All right, now we're going to take a few wraps of thread to cover those butt ends up. And now for my dubbing, I'm using ice dub in a color called Pheasant Tail. it really looks good on this fly. So we just a little bit out of the package here, and go to spin that on the thread. Got about 1.5 inch long dubbing noodle here, and we're just gonna go ahead and wrap that right up. Don't crowd the eye. We got one little guy sticking out there that we knocked off. Okay, whip finish. And there we are. Now, I have fished this as an attractor pattern. I've also fished it during an ISO hatch to great success. So I wish you well with it. It's not a difficult fly to tie if you have a couple of tricks up your sleeve. So tie them up. Can't wait for spring to get here again. If you like the video, leave a comment or subscribe. We'd love to hear from you. I bid you peace.